Hello everybody, this is the Gadget Man with Discovering in Color, and welcome to today's video. And today what we're going to talk about is ways to keep yourself warm outside in the winter time, besides just wearing regular outside clothing such as coats and sweaters and socks and gloves and all those type of things. So let's get started with the first idea. All right, first up, for your outside, you want to have a barrier between yourself and the cold. Now today, believe it or not, this is the end of December and it's probably 70 degrees outside, so not typical for here in Oklahoma City, but it is what it is. And I kind of enjoy it. But what you want to do is, if you do get cold, along with things such as coats and hats and socks and gloves and all that kind of stuff, you can do the biggest physical barrier I can think of is just have yourself an extra blanket. I normally bring an extra blanket with me so that way you can throw it over your legs or throw it over your shoulders or something like that. Or if you're asleep at night in your sleeping bag and you get chilly, you can add an extra blanket on top. Just an extra layer of insulation goes a long, long, long way. Another thing you can do is, if you have one, these little Mylar emergency blankets, they're okay. They're not that big. They're very light, very easy to use. They make a lot of noise, but this is another thing you can use if you really get in a pinch. I try to keep one with me. I've got one in the car, and of course I keep one in the backpack. But these are kind of like, hey, everything I've tried, I can't get warm, so I'm going to use one of these things right here. Or it's just an emergency and it was colder than I thought, and I just need an extra blanket. And it could be camping, it could be out watching a football game at night in a stadium or something like that. This could be a good thing to kind of have with you. So little Mylar blankets, these are nice. Another thing I like to use are what we call chemical treatments or chemical pouches right here. And they come in a couple different types here. These right here, these are just the Hot Hands brand. There's a bunch of different brands out there, but they come in hand warmers, they come in toe warmers, and they come in my favorite here, which is the body warmer right here. This one's my favorite because it's a big, huge warmer. I mean, this is the size of the square that it is. And you can take this right here, and if you are just getting chilly and your clothing just isn't enough, you can pop one of these, put it next to your body here. Always make sure you have a layer of clothing in between it. Never put this directly on your skin, but it can be put into an internal pocket in your jacket, or it can be thrown, I like to throw it in the bottom of my sleeping bag at night if it's really cold, because what one of these will do is this will keep your feet warm. And that's just a nice feeling to have a little heater down there, because my feet tend to get cold when I'm out camping. So I like to throw one of these in the bottom. That's a great way to do it. These toe warmers here, they're really cool too, because you just take them and just like the picture shows, you just put them in the front of your toe of your boot or shoe or whatever you're wearing, and it will actually warm up your toes. And these come in a 2-pack, so you get one for each foot. And then of course there are the hand warmers here. These are nice. They come in a 2-pack case here. And what you do is you take these, you can put them inside of the pocket of your jacket. You can put them in your sleeping bag. You can put them inside of gloves. I've done that. I've put them in the palm of my gloves and held them here in each one. It's pretty nice, but these are really good. They last, they say 8 hours or so like that. And that could be the case. It really just depends. But you just take them, you buy them. They're in all kind of different stores out there. Box stores, all those different stores have these. Just get them. I usually get a multi-pack, and I usually bring a bunch of these with me. So you get one-time use. And I will also tell people, please don't throw these on the trail when you're done. Properly dispose of them. And also wait till they're cool before you properly dispose of them, because you don't want to put something hot inside of a container with paper products and that type of stuff. Okay? So that's for chemical treatments. Another thing you can do to keep warm is simply eat. This is just a Kind bar. I like to keep these around. If you start getting cold, you can eat some food, especially at night before I'm going to go to bed. I'll usually eat one of these. I'll eat something. And what happens is, as your body digests food, it generates heat. So that's a great way, before you go to bed, grab yourself something to eat. This thing right here has 250 calories in it. Grab that, drink some water, because you don't want to eat these without water. And when you go to bed, you'll be amazed how a combination of these little things here, an extra blanket, a body warmer next to you or something like that, and some food will definitely make you a lot warmer when it comes time to go to bed. All right, the next thing to go into are actually flame sources that you can use. Now, the big disclaimer here, don't use flame inside of a tent, okay? You can use inside of a shelter, maybe, a bigger shelter, but inside of a tent, do not use anything with a flame, because all it takes is you brush a sock into it, you tip it over, you do something like that, and next thing you know, you're inside a tent that may be on fire, and that's probably not going to be a very good feeling. it'll be probably very, very bad. So don't use flames inside of a tent. So here's a really cool product right here I want to talk about. This right here, this is actually made of cement. This is a lid for the top to put it out. But what you do with this here, this is a cement alcohol burner. And what you do is you fill this thing up halfway or so with denatured alcohol or rubbing alcohol or some type of an alcohol. And this one right here, you can use inside of your house. You can use it outside. You can use it inside of a shelter. Remember I said shelter, not tent. And what this thing will do is it's filled with alcohol. You just light it and this thing will put off a significant amount of heat. If you have a small building, a very small space, a shed or something like that, or you have a workspace, this is a great thing right here to put in there. And when this thing is filled to capacity, this thing will run for about a little less than an hour and it puts out a significant amount of heat. So once again, little cement alcohol burner. You can see it's very thick. And because of this right here, because of the cement, it doesn't get too hot. So a great way to warm up a small space. And then finally, the last thing I want to talk about here, and you've probably seen these here, these are these portable propane heaters. What they do is they run on either these little bottles of propane right here, okay? Or you can actually take a hose and hook it up to a larger bottle of propane if you have one here. But these are nice little 1 pound propane bottles. They take here, and all you do is you take them, hook them up to the side like so. And voila, there you go. Now you have your heater. Got a couple different settings on here. It does have a gas pilot that you can light here, but basically goes from low and high. So it's got 2 settings on it. This right here I've used inside of shelters, and it'll do a pretty good job of warming up a shelter. Now it will suck down a 1 pound bottle of propane in a couple of hours if you have it on the high setting, a little bit longer in the low setting. But this is a very nice thing to take with you if you're going car camping or base camping, because you can take it, you can plug it in, you can get some heat. It's a quick way to get some heat, especially in the morning or when you first arrive and you're setting up and you need to warm up real quick. I'll take this with me, hook that propane bottle up or hook it to a larger propane bottle, and very quickly you've got some heat going. This little one right here can do the same thing, but I just like the propane bottle right here. Plus, like I said, you can buy these as much as you want. I do have a new one of these that I bought, which I'll feature in another video. It's actually a 5 pound propane bottle that's refillable. And I'm starting to use that as soon as I get rid of all these little green ones here, because they're kind of to me, they're kind of harmful to the environment. But I'll start using my little 5 pound propane bottle for this right here, and it'll burn quite a few hours. Okay, so that's it. The Gadget Man with Discovery in Color. Just wanted to show you some things you can use in the wintertime to keep yourself warm when you basically have put on all your clothing and you're still cold. Hey, there's some great options here that you can do to get the heat back into you. One last option I didn't talk about is just exercise. If you get that cold and you're really cold and you're just sitting there and you're cold, get up, do some squats, walk around, do something, because as you're moving around, your body will generate heat. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and see you on the trail.